I think this is hilarious, yeah. Keep in mind that you can make me watch up to 12 episodes of anime or something of equal length every month by becoming a patron. Konnichiwa everybody, it's Ward and it's time for more Game of Thrones, the final episode of the show. The season, it has been terrible, hasn't it? Man, last episode, I said it was a little bit better than the episode before it, but it's more like a more polished turd, isn't it? Anyways, about last episode, I do have some more thoughts about it. It is pretty awful, except for, the Clegane Bull, I guess. And it looked pretty, at the very least. They do have that. But they have way too many, slow motion shots and Arya fucking around in the city. War is terrible, we get it. They've shown that enough, haven't they? And then she rides out on a pale horse, like death itself, miraculously being the only one around that's alive. And I thought we had enough plot armor in episode 3. Anyways, Jaime and Cersei also died in that classic boring way. They pulled a Stannis on him, right? I mean, I think they're both dead anyways. And they're in that rubble. I'm sure they'll find them this episode. And that's how sort of Dany will find out, right? Because, I mean, she's got to find out that Tyrion betrayed her. Again. I mean, why did she burn Maris and not Tyrion anyways, huh? Just because Tyrion is a little bit more on her side? Oh well, but I'm kind of worried for Tyrion this episode for sure. I mean, surely there's going to be a plot against Dany. I don't see any way she's going to live through this. And then the last Targaryen will be Jon. Right? In the world, supposedly. Where did dragon eggs come from anyways? Will it also be the end of the dragons? Because I don't see the dragon living. Also, Grey Worm is totally on her side. I don't really see him becoming good or whatever. He was kind of channeling his same rage as Dany last episode. But he saw Jon pull back. So I'm thinking he will sort of rat him out. Oh, you didn't support your queen? Dany will be like, why didn't you murder those innocent little children and rape some women while you're at it, like your fellow kind? What's wrong with you? Don't you support your queen? Did you not bend the knee? Man, it's really gone to shit, isn't it? But yeah, I'm wondering if this could become my new worst ending, as in my favorite worst ending, sort of. It's not my favorite, it's a bad ending. Is Dexter. Actually, Game of Thrones reminds me more of Dexter now than ever, not just with how the finale is surely gonna be dog shit, but I mean, they have 1 hour to wrap all this shit up, and if it's anything like last episode, it's gonna be shit, so but yeah, the finale to Dexter is the worst by far that I've seen to a show that I really enjoyed at first. And Dexter also had some really good seasons early on, like Game of Thrones, and then it sort of changed directors. Well, actually, that's not really what happened in Game of Thrones, but in Game of Thrones they ran out of source material, although it kind of, I mean, season 6 is, still has some of my favorite episodes, because they're still using book material stuff for the most part, right? Except the door episode was my favorite, but this season totally shat on it, didn't it? There's so many events, so many plot threads and character arcs that completely are, void now. Bran amounted to nothing. He was fucking off in the woods for ages. Came back. Now he's just fucking off in a wheelchair. He's useless, right? And I doubt he's gonna be playing a big role in this episode to redeem it. His character arc, that is. Man. But also Jaime's, I think, well, both Dany and Jaime got the short stick last episode. I mean, I'm sure Danny might, turn mad in the books or whatever, but not on such short notice. Like, it's very out of character, I would say, regardless of whatever foreshadowing they had. Barely. It seems like an afterthought almost, that she would on a heel turn burn the whole city down. And also, what about the Iron Throne? Is it still there? Isn't it in the Iron Keep? Because you kind of burned that shit to the ground. I'm surprised. I guess we'll see it this episode, like the whole, just how much damage it was, really. But even like the very bottom keep, or the dungeon or whatever, were like filled with rubble. I guess Cersei might like still be breathing. I don't think that would, make her that much more satisfying, because I mean, it was very unsatisfying. I don't think they can redeem it, even if she's like breathing, and like she got such a happy ending almost, really, in the arms of her lover, brother. Man, what a weak ending for Cersei after they built her up so much towards the end. This is I never thought I would say I was so invested in the show that I just needed to see where it ended. But I mean, of course it is. I don't want to be spoiled on it, and I haven't been spoiled. I don't go on the internet after the episode is out just about, or I go on like very, different subreddits, right? Things that are very niche, and unrelated to Game of Thrones, right? But here I am watching it in a second. What else shit can I pull out of this garbage? So yeah, Bran turned to shit, Jaime turned to shit, Dany turned to shit. Jon has barely done anything this season. He's barely gotten any lines. By the way, I looked at some of the interviews, like after last episode. I saw like some previous interviews, like from a year ago, whatever. For example, Emilia Clarke was asked, how do you feel about how it ended? How good is it? And she was like, oh, she's putting on such like a face, like she can barely contain herself. Like, it's good, you guys. Real emotional. You're gonna feel a lot of emotions, right? And I heard that she, after she read about what happens to her or how her character arc goes in this season, she had to take a couple of days where she was walking in a daze through town. Daze. Am I saying that right? Like her, she couldn't believe it almost, how terrible it was, that is. I mean, that's the way she was acting anyways in those interviews. And I also saw Peter Dinklage was asked, and he said, oh man, this is gonna... I was so surprised, shocked even, but he said that D&D, the creators, are the best writers in television. Period. Full stop. Alright, they didn't say those words at the end there, but that was his sentence. Like, he was, roasting them, like, up in the sky, like, what? Did you even read the scripts? Are they keeping your family hostage or what? Does Hollywood have their fangs in you? Blink twice if you're in trouble, Mr. Dinklage, because surely that was a blatant lie. Of course, he is hoping to get into Star Wars. I read that, and would you know it, D&D are going to make a Star Wars trilogy, and supposedly that's why they cut this season short, or both of the seasons really. They could have gone on much longer, according to HBO. They would have, gotten a bigger budget or whatever, or another budget for next season or whatever. There's absolutely no excuse for blaming the budget for episode 3, for example. I mean, it was a super expensive episode, and it was still so shit, and you could barely see anything. Oh man, I'm just going on and on about this hateful rant, right? Are any of the actors so pissy as me? I wonder. I swear I liked the show though. I used to, but now most of the seasons are pretty void. Like the good stuff, it's a lot more difficult, I think, to rewatch it now, because we know that so many of these, characters and foreshadowing and stuff leads up to nothing. Especially with the White Walkers, of course. It's gonna be dreadful just seeing White Walkers, because it just ends in bumfuck nowhere. Speaking of bumfuck nowhere, is Ara gonna jump on Danny somehow? Like, are they gonna throw her through the window? What's next, huh? Where's she gonna come from this time? She's gonna peek out of the closet. And why didn't she wear anything back then? She should, wear somebody's face. I don't know. Again, she should do more of that. She's gonna be all assassin-y. But of course, somebody is gonna assassinate Dan in this episode for sure. I'm just wondering how they're gonna do it. How are they gonna trick her? Because she does have dragon still. And how do you get rid of the dragon also? Do you still have a scorpion around? Man, how long has this rant been going on for? 11 minutes. I don't usually go for this long before I start an episode. That tells you how much I'm burning with hatred. Right? Even though I don't let it on so much. Also, both Davos and Tyrion last episode, they were just there. They didn't do anything except for looks. They had a look of disgust on their face, just like Jon. Right? Man. Also, fuck all Euron did. And I don't think we'll see Yara this episode either. She had way too much screen time for being so unimportant in the end. Right? Just like Bran. Are we gonna see one last vision that has nothing to do with anything? Is he gonna be useless one more time? What else is gonna happen? Somebody will sit on the Iron Throne, if it's still there. Are we gonna get an epilogue or whatever? It's just 1 hour. It's not. I mean, I'm glad it's just 1 hour, because they would just fill the episode with some stupid shit, like in episode 3 and 5. Right? Some stupid ass slow motion, emotional music. I mean, the music, probably the best part of the season, because music can do no wrong, right? Almost. And D&D doesn't have too much to do with it. That's why it's good. But seriously, Star Wars, they're gonna, because when they write, it's bad. When they direct, it's good though. Like the previous seasons, they were still directing, right? Like the Red Wedding and stuff. Like that shit was gold. Why couldn't you just have written something that was equally gold as that? But it was written by George R.R. Martin, of course. And supposedly he was waiting until these seasons were out, until he releases his next 2 books, according to the actor who plays that guy who was such a great sword fighter. Mormont, Jorah's dad, I forget his name. He said that George had finished the books already, and he was just waiting until the season was over. Is that a good strategy? I don't know. It might work out. Because people have been watching for, or they made a petition to just redo the whole season because it was so bad, right? It is so bad. Over 1 million people voted very fast. So he could just be giving us, the proper ending to the show, and let's just pretend none of this happened. It was just a dream all along. Man. What else is there? For me to shit on. For me to poop on. Have you seen those videos by Conan with that dog that goes around and makes fun of people in line for movies? It's pretty funny. I guess I should just get to it. Oh yeah, she might say that. No, but she already burned them all. There's no reason for her to say it, just like the Mad King. But I'm sure we might get a scene like that in Bran's vision, and then John could play the part of Jamie. Yeah, it sure was shit. You don't have to remind me. Wow, that was a really short recap. Exactly, nothing happened that episode almost. Or it, very little happened over a very long time. That's why the recap is so damn short. But yeah, I don't think those Star Wars movies are going to be very good unless somebody else is writing them, of course. I didn't look too much into it. I didn't really enjoy The Last Jedi anyways. We don't need 3 more super bad movies. I don't know. I saw it in the cinema, by the way. But The Force Awakens was decent. At the very least. Also Rogue Squadron, what's it called again? I even forgot the name, but that one was alright. But yeah, I think Danny will execute somebody before they have time to plan something, I don't know, right? One last time. But tensions will be high, and somebody from the good side will die. I don't consider Danny on the good side anymore, of course. Where did he go anyways? He was walking in Rebel and then he wasn't in the episode anymore. Tyrion, that is. Kinda looks like a zombie. Oh, he doesn't look so good, yo. Smart would be to plot something right now, before Danny gets alone time with him.
I sentence you to die.
How did he even take prisoners? We were busy killing everybody, Well, I guess we did see Danny in a snowy ass throne. Wasn't that a vision or whatever from her? I wonder if they're gonna make her look even more crazy with some makeup. Will he find them? Of course he will. The golden hand, yeah. I mean, he was dead anyways. The hand finds the hand. Well acted though. Yeah, no, they're dead. Looks a bit Renaissance-y. You're in enemy territory now, John. Shit. How are they gonna kill her and get away, huh? Because the Dothraki and the Unsettled will still stay by his side. Even after she's dead, I'm sure. Take revenge. What will the Dothraki do anyways? I'm surprised there's so many left. Because a whole lot of them were dying in episode 3. How did he make it there before John? What the hell? He was busy killing people. Maybe John had to take a mega dump. Cool shot. She really acknowledged John, yo. The people of King's Landing. You freed them from life, yo. They're not alive anymore. The war is not over. There's still innocent people out there you can kill. Liberated, huh? Winterfell. Specifically. He's just talking about killing them, right? Some stupid shit like that. Hey now, don't steal my spotlight. I'll burn you. Huh?
You freed your brother.
Oh, she does know.
Treason.
And you slaughtered a city.
I guess we're even. I don't think that's gonna matter. I resign. Was she trying having killed? Dramatic, oh. Huh? Come on, take a dagger out and go at her. Yeah, no, so much for a plot, huh? Or did they plan it already? They're gonna try and do something shocking again somehow. Play the audience. I mean, they showed this season that D&D, they like writing shock rather than, good stuff. No matter the cost, just put some crazy shit in there and satisfy the masses. Is that it? Out of nowhere, again. John
The moment the gates fell, the
is
battle
still
was over.
defending
She saw her.
her.
Friend beheaded. She saw her dragon shot out
This is
of
kind
the
of
sky.
bullshit,
Burned
isn't
down
it?
the city for it.
It's pretty stupid, actually, that he's defending
I don't
her
know.
at all.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, no, she's gonna throw you under her bus if you don't do anything. It's like she threw this whole city under the
What I
bus.
do.
She turned mad too fast, y'all. Good thing turns good with words, though. for John's sake, because apparently he's dumb as bricks right now. Trying to turn a blind eye to Danny's actions.
I know you love her.
Barely loves her. Or I guess he just couldn't get it up
I
last
love her
episode.
too.
Or what was it last episode? I forget, this whole
Not
season
as
just
successfully
it's a
as
big
you.
mishmash of shit. Love makes
Look at me,
blind, they
brother.
say.
Love is the death of duty.
Oh, that's what Amon said to him.
You just came up with that.
Oh, Tyrion's gonna be
Maester
like,
Aemon said it a long time ago.
you could do something crazy just like Amon. You don't have to,
Sometimes duty is the death of love.
Ooh, deep.
Do you think I'm the last man she'll execute?
It's gonna happen sooner or later for sure. Maybe she just wants one last lay. I don't know. Oh, that's when you could do
She
it.
is the queen.
You have to seduce her. Again, put on your magic. And then slay her after you've slain her. I saw it in an episode of Cena. No, he's gonna be on board, isn't he? Even though he said that.
And your sisters.
Everybody in your family's gonna
You've
die,
seen them
bro.
bending the knee.
If you don't do something. Dumbass.
My sisters will be loyal to the throne. Why do you
Right.
think Sansa told me the truth about you?
Sansa will be loyal to throne after she kills Jon.
No.
Alright, we go with the horror music again. Oh, there was a dragon under there. Cool. Makes me want to play Skyrim. Actually, I've been meaning to play Morrowind lately. The best Elder Scrolls game, in my opinion. All this shit writing has me itching for some, good writing. And fantasy. Sword fighting, dragons, magical creatures. The throne. Because it's it. I guess it is just like in that vision, huh? It was no after all. Yeah, still intact. Is it rigged with explosives? Probably not. She has a massive heart on. Her acting right now reminds me of season 1 actually, when it was kind of that Terry bad. Before she got good for a while. Until this season. And now it's back to that. Because she doesn't even know what to do with herself. If anybody's acting changed throughout the season, it's hers.
Like in the mind of a little girl who can't count to 20. How have you treated people who've done the same to you, even when it broke your heart?
He's beheaded a couple of guys. Why are you still doing this, John, huh? You should have just went to bed with her and put a couple of things in her love, huh?
Be with me.
Is he playing her?
Build the new world with me.
It's a bit unbelievable, all of this.
Couldn't count to 20.
After the last episode.
We do it together.
Isn't it ridiculous? Oh yeah, play that music. What? Oh, what? Oh damn. With the music even. Oh my god. Oh, is it actually enough? That's a hilarious way to do it, actually. What the hell? That's it? Shit. I think this is hilarious, yo. Sorry. Not sorry. The troll that was the music, yo. Yeah, no, you should get the hell out of there, man. Epic. See you later. Where's he going anyways, huh? And we never saw them again. The end. Repercussions? We only got so much time, hurry up, damn it. How about the trial by combat, huh? What even is this? Oh, they skipped ahead. This is so weird. It's like a hostage exchange.
Thousands of Unsullied who believe that it is.
Let the Unsullied give him what he deserves.
Guess he
Say another word
confessed.
about killing my brother and I'll cut your throat.
It's not for you to decide.
You are not here to speak. Everyone has heard enough words from you.
Yeah, they totally turned Grey Room to shit, didn't
No
they?
one's any better for it.
As predicted. Wasn't he the guy that married Walter's pretty daughter?
Please sit.
Totally shut him up.
the decision about what's best for everyone should be left to everyone.
True democracy, for once, instead of atrocracy. Too forward for this world. Oh well, Sam.
The boy who fell from a high tower and lived.
Ooh, he's not useless anymore.
Never walk again.
Whoop-de-doo.
To fly.
Why do you think I came all this way?
I mean, for some other reason than that. That's why I thought you came all this way.
I'm not sure I get a vote, but aye.
Humble Davos. Humble. Bitch, please.
All hail Bran the Broken.
Yay. What a weird title though, isn't it? The Broken.
You will be my hand.
No, Your Grace, I don't want it. Anyone else.
I choose you.
You cannot.
Yes, I can. I'm king.
This man is a criminal.
He's going to spend the rest of his life fixing them.
Make it sound like it's a harsh punishment and it'll be fine.
It is not enough.
So our new king has chosen to send you to the Night's Watch.
Oh no, not back there again.
Still Night's Watch.
I gotta put up with this shit. That's what I was thinking.
You shall take no wife.
Is that gonna be his end? It's kind of boring, isn't it? Just gonna set sail?
That's where I'm going.
That seems dumb as hell if you ask me. I don't know. Or explore north if anything. I want to see that. Beyond the place where the White Walkers came from, because it is unexplored. Of course, it's very, very cold there and difficult to live, but goodbye. One last reunion. You're not gonna find out the secret, are you? That's what happens when they read books in this show, right? Aw. What about the end? I want to see what she writes at the end, though. Pledged himself, and then what, huh? Some bullshit happened, that's right. Are you gonna write the truth or what? He pleaded to, like, join the forces, and then he, like, ditched them right afterwards. You could put it like that, I guess. It's kind of difficult to write it for her, huh? Damn, look at that armor, yo.
Coin and lord of lofty titles provide funding.
Oh, is he gonna... what? Because people were so mad about this the other episode. Yeah, there it is. But is this satisfying? I guess it is. A little smirk. Tiny smirk. But yeah, I guess I was quick to judge it. It obviously wasn't nearly as bad as Dexter's ending. And I guess... oh, it is over now? For real? Okay, it is over. Damn. Right. I guess, no, it was pretty good, wasn't it? You know, compared to the rest of the season anyways. I don't know how they could have made it better, really. And in that regard, I guess it is, in my opinion, the best episode. Even though it was kind of boring. Right? But yeah, we kind of did get an epilogue or whatever, like I had predicted. A truly happy ending. No, it was really boring, actually, come to think of it. They could have done it better for sure. Right? They could have. Man, what happened to all of that craziness? Like, now you got me amped up for craziness. With like episode 3, well not 3, but 5. Well, this whole season. And then ending on such like a low note almost. Isn't that unsatisfying as hell, come to think of it? But unfortunately there isn't any, you know, proper bad, you know, really bad things that happen in this episode that I can like shit on. I was wanting to shit on it more. but I can't. Boo-hoo. But yeah, it's kind of hard to imagine it, ending that much differently. But yeah, I didn't really recognize everybody that was at that last the council before when they were choosing. And then Grey Worm. Yeah, I know it's very anticlimactic, isn't it? Right. It does not. One thing I can say, it doesn't redeem the season at all. It is still the worst season by far, I would say. It is still a season of shit. Easily. So, that's how I can shit on it. It could have been better. And since it wasn't, the season is still shit. Right? If you take away anything from this, right. But yeah, there was like so little conflict really in the end. After that heel turn last episode, with the Mad Queen, there was like, it's kind of a boring resolution, really. Kind of boring. And all of these like shots with Tyrion, they were wasting time again, like they have done the whole season, really. Which they weren't really doing any seasons before. I mean, season 7 was like happening at breakneck speed or whatever. Only for them to like slow down to a snail's pace in some of these episodes that were extra long. There's like no excuse for that, really. It's just all over the place, that pacing. It's garbage, right? The best writers, I guess Dinklage called them that because they gave him so much screen time in the end. And he wants to get on their good side, so he will get a part in their Star Wars trilogy. That's what I'm imagining. Of course, if any of these actors would feel satisfied, it would be him. Considering what happened this episode, right? It was the redeeming part. He's, the best acting was from him, of course. As expected, I guess. It's not very surprising. And then John. Like, he didn't feel. I felt like John was like big possessed almost in that one scene after the things he had said. And then suddenly that happens. Like, what? It's like the writers like went in there and like, directed him. Took over his body. Because his face was still like the same John. He was still saying the same line. So this is normal. This is totally reasonable way for me to act while doing this. Nothing's really changed. Yeah, no, I was a bit disappointed in that. I mean, both him and Amelia, I don't think they acted very well this episode, really. But how could they when they were giving such shitty writing, right? I'm gonna shit on it. Everybody else is gonna shit on it. I should shit on it before I read any. I mean, I don't think I'm gonna go back, make another video after I see people's opinions or whatever. I have managed to make all of these reactions unspoiled, actually. Fortunately. Surprisingly, right? Because, I mean, some crazy shit could have been leaked, and I'm sure it was, if you looked hard enough. But I did not. But yeah, it's such a boring, happy ending, isn't it? Right? It doesn't hold a candle. By the way, I've never even compared this to Breaking Bad. Have I? In one of these reactions? Maybe. But I would say I haven't said this yet, I think, but Breaking Bad is one of my favorite series. Next to Lost, actually. Oh, yeah, Lost. I should talk about that as well. Because their endings, mostly because of their endings. I mean, Lost has a very polarizing ending. I don't think this ending is going to be very polarizing. It's pretty meh, no matter who is watching it, I think. But I liked the ending to Lost, obviously, even though I didn't really like the most. Season 6 is by far my least favorite, of course. And I skip, big parts of it, really, when I'm rewatching it. But still, the ending was just about the best episode of that season. And it was way more satisfying than this. Wasn't it? Wasn't it? I was like actually crying and stuff, of course. Yeah. But Game of Thrones used to be my third favorite live-action show. Is what I was going to get at. Breaking Bad being the second one, of course. And I considered all of those pretty close. Those three pretty close. Until this season, I guess. I was excusing the last season 7. Oh, it's just, a bit of build-up for the last season. I'm sure it's going to be great. I looked so excited in the first episode of this season. If you can go back and tell. I was shaking with excitement. But then it turned to shit. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the ending of Breaking Bad. I mean, Breaking Bad is like 1,000 times better in just about every regard. It's a bit unfair to compare them because they're very different shows, of course, but they are live action and ran for about the same length and are serious and have great acting. And they were super mainstream hits, I want to say. Lost was as well. It was the first big show that had that cinematic quality, I would say. We certainly wouldn't have Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad as fast as we did, if not for Lost, in my opinion. It was pretty groundbreaking. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with that. But yeah, the writing and the pacing is so much more consistent at the very least, Breaking Bad. I mean, I will admit, I'll be the first to admit that Lost has, some problems here and there. Some episodes that absolutely everybody should skip. Well, actually, there's just one episode that people should skip on their first watching, I would say. The tattoo episode, if you didn't know. Absolutely awful. It doesn't move the plot forward. Doesn't have anything to do with anything. It's just like a filler episode, really. And it's boring as hell. More boring than this episode, even. But anyways, it has my favorite ending to a series. And I held Game of Thrones to that standard because it was such a good show for a while. But then it turned to shit. And now it's boom, way down there. It used to be Lost, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones. But now it's Breaking Bad. And then way down there, Game of Thrones. It marred the image. It's such a detriment to the rest of the story, really. How so many threads amounted to nothing. Right? I could go on and on. At least I'm still getting to shit on it. The overall series. Right. This episode doesn't make up for shit, really. Even if it was decent. I say that. It's a very hard decent. What else is there to say? But yeah, Dinklage, he was the best part of the episode for sure. The acting. I mean, he was always stellar. But yeah, I don't think this episode... I mean, I guess you could give awards... No, but like the episode, they still call it like if somebody achieves a Grammy or what is it, Emmy? What is it the actors get? Is it an Emmy or a Grammy? I forget. I think it's Emmy. Oscar. Right, that's the word. I don't know these American terms, yo, because I'm Norwegian. It's not my first language, is it? English. Or is it Oscar? Anyways, if he gets an Oscar for this, I don't think he does. I don't think he will, but I hate it when they say that, oh, this episode got an Oscar, whatever, Emmy, because this episode doesn't deserve that. Alright. It doesn't deserve that for sure. Unfortunately. But yeah, of course I will still watch their Star Wars movie. Even if it has worse ratings, worse reviews than The Last Jedi, I'll still end up watching them. Eventually, I do love Star Wars. And there's a lot of other people that work on them. And I have seen just about every Star Wars movie. I mean, I haven't seen Solo, actually. I should react to that, maybe. Especially if Dinklage is gonna be on it, because, I mean, he did a great job with what he got. Right? Of course, it was a bit easier for him than a couple of the other characters this episode, which were dragged through the mud. I think Tyrion and the Hound, they were like the only ones that were like stayed sort of true to their character till the end. That I feel sort of satisfied with their conclusion. And everything else is like a dream. Right? It's just a dream. It's just my imagination. Season 8 hasn't started yet. It's gonna start next year. I gotta sign up for that petition, you know. Maybe spin-off series, though. They're making a bunch of them, supposedly. And at least one of them is like a prequel. I mean, I know that Martin, the last book he gave out was actually last year, I think. Isn't it called Fire and Blood? With like the old Targaryens and dragons and shit. When dragons ruled the skies, I guess there were more than 3 of them then. If they're gonna call it that. But yeah, I mean, that would be cool to see, of course. And also maybe Robbers Rebellion. We didn't really see that. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine that fat guy running around on a horse kicking ass, but apparently it happened. Right? Back then. Could see something from that. Right. And yeah, there's like no repercussions. Well, I mean, there are. A life. He can't leave that place. I mean, taking it back to where it began, I guess. Outside the wall. In the forest, worth mentioning, it is that spooky. What's it called? The No. I know that wood. That forest. It's like called something special because I started reading the books. Actually, I haven't really read the books, but I started reading it. The first one, Game of Thrones. That's the first book, isn't it? I think it is. In the book series called The Song of Fire and Ice, just like that one book at the end there. I mean, Martin, he did say story only stops when the writer puts down his pen. And I could imagine it ending something like this, yeah, for sure. Although not that happy. It's way too happy, isn't it? For Game of Thrones? We need some more blood, yo. And shit. It's like nothing really emotional. Right, I didn't really feel much when I was watching this. You know? Kind of glad it's over, really. Good riddance, I say. Right. But I can't wait to see the memes. More memes. And I'm a bit sad that, the biggest television show ever ish, isn't it? Is over. Being part of it was kind of fun. Right? And what is going to be the next thing, huh? The next big thing. I guess it could be one of their spin-off series. As long as D&D stay away from it. Actually, I mean, they did a really good job with the stuff that was, adapted from the books. Right? Supposedly. I mean, I haven't read the books, so how can I tell? Except by the quality of the show, of course, which did go down drastically after they ran out of material. So there is that. Man, this is my longest video in forever. On something that isn't the movie. Even though the episode wasn't that long. Oh yeah, we didn't get to see Chili. What about that? Like, cause she got pregnant. Can you be like a dad and a maester at the same time? I wonder. Oh. And yeah, we did get to see the Prince of Dorne. Where was he, huh? Wasn't he like going to support Cersei or whatever? With forces? She was like bragging about that sometime. Sometime or another. Who knows? In this mess. But yeah, it was a bit of a democracy in the end. And also, what about the brand's power? Yeah, no, it's totally unsatisfying. His journey, for sure. Why did you come all this way? Why do you think? Gee, I wonder to be here. No, it says, why do you think I came all this way? What? Get the hell out of here. That's some bullshit. You didn't come here to be this. That's not what George has in mind for you, surely. He's gonna be... No. Just no. Not a good enough excuse for fucking off in the woods for ages. Like, where's the forging, huh? Forging into dragon. That would have been so fun. Right? Why didn't you do that ever? And also, what about... Yeah. I mean, are they like leaving it open-ended so that I could continue it somehow? With like a sequel spin-off type dealio? Because a lot of the characters are like going like... I don't know, it's like a very open future, I feel like. West of Westeros. I mean, what did explorers do back in the day anyways? And how big is this place? I forget what their Earth is called. Don't they just like call it Terra or whatever? Terrast. Westeros, Eartheros. I know it has like some kind of funky name like that. Oh well. But I'm more curious about the North, really. Because they haven't walked to the end. That is not mapped. The only reason they weren't going up there is because the White Walkers were there. Like, why wouldn't you start there, huh? Just bring like extra clothes. I'm sure it's beautiful up there still. Also, I mean, I guess there's like snow avalanches and stuff. Snow storms might be difficult to reverse. I'm trying to think of more shit to bring up. More shit. And also, isn't it kind of jarring? Like the two parts of the episode? You do all this shit, like it's tense as shit. And then it's all boring as shit. It's like a total heel turn, just like the last episode. Some more crazy bullshit, right? In a boring way this time, sort of. And a very unepic way to end that whole thing, right? In the middle-ish, isn't it? Sunday's over. Let's move on. Let's take a chill pill. Let's chill like Bran for like the rest of the episode. Oh man. See, that could have been 2 episodes right there. Well, I mean, I wouldn't want a whole episode of epilogue or whatever. That'd be boring. I don't know what I wanted, but I don't think I wanted this. Right. But yeah, I'm not sure if I would even consider Game of Thrones in my top 10 live action shows anymore, really. All the way down from top 3. Right? I would at least put like... Well, Dexter. I would put Dexter... No, I wouldn't put Dexter above it. Dexter is still full of shit in the second half, if you didn't know. Although I did enjoy season 5, and I enjoyed season 7 more than 5, I think. 7 is almost as good as season 3. Could make a whole video about that, talking about Dexter, because it is a brilliant show in those first 4 seasons for sure. And then they have some major changes afterwards. Right. Including the changing of writers. But yeah, I could easily put Sherlock, for example, above Game of Thrones now. Right. But yeah, I will easily think less of people that say Game of Thrones is their favorite. If they've seen the new season anyways, right? Or their opinion anyways, right? That's how bad it is. It like brings down the whole show. Right. Let it be known. It is known that it is not the ultimate. I guess they were right all along. Those people, ever since season 4 ended, they just said like, oh, the show isn't good anymore. I guess they were right-ish. I still enjoyed season 6 a lot, though. Still has some of my favorite episodes for sure. And Heart, Home, and Battle of the Bastards. Still, like, way better than anything that happened in this season for sure. Of course. Right. Oh, but yeah, Lord of the Rings. Because I went back and looked at Helm's Deep, that battle, and of course it's way better than The Long Night, Winterfell, Battle of Winterfell. right? They dared to compare it to that, and they had about the same budget and took about the same amount of time to shoot it. I'm pretty sure in roughly the same conditions. Also, I heard it was pretty cold in Helm's Deep shooting. For however many weeks. So there's really no excuse for it being so shit in comparison. It is still my favorite medieval fantasy battle, right? I don't think Battle of the Bastards outdoes it, but it's like decently close. I mean, it reaches a different level of intensity, of thrill, right? Especially when John is like getting buried, struggling to breathe and all that. And those, super intense shots, like in the beginning when the horses are storming against him, like the real. I looked at the behind the scenes stuff, and they were real horses, like that, like got real close to him until they like had finished the shot. Pretty crazy, really. So many people. I love that battle, that episode, and yeah, that's the way you do a satisfying end to a villain. Ramsay being bitten, that is. That was so much more satisfying than anything that happened this season, I would say. Right? Like even the Clegane bone was not satisfying instead, I think. Back then, when the writing was still decent. And also the Battle of Blackwater was good. But yeah, Cersei, she went out like such a boring fashion, really. Like in the Battle of Blackwater, she was considering like killing herself and Tommen with poison. Like what happened to that badass? When did she turn into like a little bitch? Like it wasn't that much worse. Like she got this close, she was like, "Let me get a sip of this poison," and turned from that to like this crying mess. I guess you could blame the pregnancy. I think they are more emotional when they are pregnant women, aren't they? But I think it could have been fun this episode if Dany was like, "Oh, we're gonna have a child," and then make it like all dramatic and stuff. Maybe. But that didn't happen, of course. Nothing exciting happened, really. Very unexciting. Honestly, very predictable. Thumbs down. Hooey. 2 hours, past 2 hours now with this reaction. See, I'm coming up with a new thing. If I just sit there, I'll come up with something new shit on. Just hold on a sec. But yeah, Dany, so unsatisfied. Well, I mean, no, it's just a repercussion of last episode, I guess. Continuation. Nothing to be done at this point, really, for her. To make her arc any better. We didn't even get to see. I thought, we would get something a bit more explosive, considering her. But it was, it just fizzled out like a tiny fart. Right? No great quote, no nothing. Yeah, no, it's gonna be way more epic in the books if they ever come out. For sure. For sure. And yeah, Arya showed up last episode. Why? Why did he spend all that time with her? For nothing, again. A whole lot of build-up. Even till the very end, they like punch us in the balls with this like build-up that leads to nothing. Right? I can just shake my head forever. Are you listening, D&D? Do you hear my prayers? Actually, there's nothing to pray about, except please don't make Star Wars as bad as The Last Jedi, at the very least. Do me that favor, will you? I mean, The Last Jedi has one or two good scenes, I guess. Kylo Ren isn't too bad. Yeah, I'm not going to get in a whole thing about that. But it's not my favorite Star Wars movie, I'll tell you what. And I have not seen the trailer. I don't typically watch trailers. Oh yeah, they didn't have anything at the end there of this episode. I was actually going to watch it till the end, because they had like behind the scenes stuff on the other episodes. I didn't bother going back and watching them, but supposedly people said that D&D were bragging so much about all the shit that they did is so good. You're gonna... All this foreshadowing and build-up led to this. People are gonna be so surprised and think it's so great, but in actuality, no. Deluded, yo. What delusion? But yeah, Dinklage must be high if he calls them the best writers in TV at the moment. He didn't say ever, did he? Please don't tell me he said in television history, because that's even worse. I'm sure you can find the clip easily. But yeah, I'm sure most of them have like signed some kind of embargo, non-disclosure agreement. Don't talk too badly about this show, even though it is terrible. Even if you didn't like it. Even if your character was thrown in the dumpster fire. Right? Right. But I don't think I want to like watch the spin-off before they like continue it. I think it should be done sort of in the way they ended it. I think the spin-off should only be like going backwards, I guess. I certainly don't want an Arya spin-off. That would be boring. Please God, no. Hear my prayers. The old gods and the new. The master of coin and the master of shit. Right, I think I'm done for now. I'll make another ranty-ass video reaction if something new comes out. Right. Well, this was a journey. I'm actually really glad that I decided to react to these episodes, because I didn't react to the previous seasons. But as luck would have it, they were reaction worthy. Enough for me to rant for a long time. I do love making some ranty videos every now and then. But yeah, I will be reacting to way more HBO in the future, by the way, if I still have you here. I did watch the first episode of Westworld Season 2 and react to it, but it's not on YouTube, because I'm not kind of satisfied with it, but I'm going to make an edited reaction to it. I watched it like a year ago though, so I need to catch up on that. And I also mean to watch Chernobyl, and which is currently airing. very short series. I don't think it's going to be more than one season because it's like just based around Chernobyl or whatever. And also The Wire and The Sopranos. I haven't seen either of those. What's wrong with you, Ward? Huh? But I will be reacting to those. At the very least, those are supposed to be good shows. I did enjoy Westworld Season 1 very much. And supposedly Season 2 is great as well. So, yeah, those Nolan brothers are pretty good, aren't they? Christopher Nolan and... what's the other one? Jonathan? Isn't that the guy that's making Westworld? I know he's his brother anyways. But yeah, I love his movies, Christopher Nolan. They are pretty good. They have the same style, don't they? Sort of. Of course, he's making with his wife, that Nolan brother. But yeah, look forward to that soon. Westworld, at the very least, will come out very soon. After you see this on YouTube. Right? I will continue it shortly. And Chernobyl, I guess. Because it's currently airing and popular. But yeah, if you want me to watch and react to some HBO shows, let me know. And subscribe. And also check out Patreon. I might have already finished. And reacted to, like, with uncut versions. Some of those shows even. I'm really far ahead on Patreon right now, actually. Like 4 months ahead of my YouTube uploads because my copyright strikes that I had that are now gone. But to Game of Thrones I will be releasing, way ahead of time because it's still popular. But at the time of this recording I haven't released a single one because, I mean, you need to edit them down to 10 minutes. It takes a decent amount of time, doesn't it? But yeah, like I mentioned before, there are uncut reactions, early access on Patreon, and you can also make me watch stuff there. Make me watch live action or anime or what have you. Even if you're just an early accessor. You can make me watch one episode, about 20 minutes of something anyways. So not quite a live action episode really, but an anime episode at the very least. Or a Western cartoon show. So yeah, leave a comment if you want me to react to more live action stuff. Because I mean, I enjoy live action so much actually. I should react to more of it. It just takes a long time, doesn't it? Also editing and stuff. Anyways, I need to take a break from speaking. Right. I'll see you guys next time, right? Peace.